Hey guys, it's Kelly. Thanks for stopping by. This is my first design team project ever, but then also my first design team project for Tresors de Luxe. This is the July project that I'm doing. And this is the sign that I made. I think I showed you guys this when I did my announcement saying that I was on her team, but I used these gorgeous laces right here and her beautiful flowers. This is from my stash, but I cut up the lace and used it like everywhere on there. And those beautiful flowers that you can get at Lucy's store. And here is her website, and here is her Etsy store, and I'll have the links below as well. So for this project I want to show you some of the products that I used. I used these gorgeous flowers, and I did something a little different with them, and unfortunately in my process video I'm out of screen for most part of this, so I'm going to add another part where I'm going to alter some of these flowers and show you how I made them a little bit bigger. I love the buds, but sometimes you might need a little more of a full-bodied flower, and I'll show you how I did that. I don't know if anybody else has done it. I'll just show you how I did it. So I used some of those flowers in different colors, and then just like in the sign, I used this gorgeous lace. Ugh, love this. And here's the portion that's left after I cut some of it out, and I will be using that as well. Not in this project, but in other projects. And then I also used this gorgeous lace right here, and you'll recognize it when you see the project. It's really pretty, but I painted it and stiffened it and went crazy with it, and I love how it turned out. So I hope you guys like it too, so stay tuned. I'll show you the process video shortly. Thanks.
Okay, so this is just a quick picture of the wooden door hanger before I started, and that is the graphic 45 paper that I chose. And I just drew it and then cut it out, and then I used Mod Podge to glue it down. And first I did it on the back of the paper and then put it down. It didn't go very well. I think it went better just to put it on the door hanger and then do it. Yeah, that wasn't very wise. But this is the first time I've made one like this, covered in paper, and I like it. It was nice and easy. I mean, I've painted some before, and I love doing that too. But so after I put it on the paper, then I decided, that didn't work. So I put it on the wood, and that wound up just fine. So I had a lot of fun with this project, and I love using Lucy's products. They're so versatile. You can do so many things with them, and I've challenged myself to do the non-traditional things with them. Instead of just sticking to shabby chic, maybe taking a vintage turn and some other options. I love the shabby chic, don't get me wrong, I think it's gorgeous. It's beautiful, but just wanted to do something different because this is just the challenge I was looking for. So I'm just kind of getting all the bubbles and extra glue out from underneath there with my bone folder. And then I used vintage photo. This is really fast, but it's really just you know, distressing the edges with vintage photo. And I did use some sandpaper and filed the edges because that was a little bit rough and the paper wasn't quite right. So you just use, you can use a coarse nail file, the cheap ones you get from Walmart, or some sandpaper, whatever you'd like. So, and I just added vintage photo around the edge, and I took that lace and I cut it into pieces, and that's the lace that I used. And I cut it into pieces, and then I used some stiffener on it from my stash, and made it nice and stiff. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but first I tried painting them gold after I stiffened them, you know, because you can tell they're not flopping around. And I liked that, but it just kind of didn't go. I needed something more contrast. So as I was playing, I forgot to record. I liked doing it black. So after I used the gold and then tried to highlight it with black, I realized I need to go the other way. I need to go black and highlight it with gold. And it wound up looking really like Roman kind of. And on that paper, there are some like pillars in the background, which I thought were kind of cool. So that's kind of how this all went. So I'm just using gold rub and buff on the little leaves, and that's all from that same piece of that lace. I used one little portion of it. So, and I got a lot out of it, and I still have some left. I didn't even use all of it. And that's the other lace that I used. That was left over from the sign that I made. And I wound up putting some more vintage photo on. It was already distressed a little bit. And then just kind of pieced it together to make like a little tassel at the bottom of my pocket for my door hanger. And that's another piece of that same portion of lace. You get so much out of this, guys. So many different pieces. And there'll be all kinds of projects coming too. You'll see all kinds of different things to use. I was messing around with a tassel and decided, no, I like the lace as the tassel. It's perfect. So I just used some glossy accents to put that lace down and then decided to go to my glue gun to assemble the rest. And then I just have one of those ornate metal pieces that I just stamped the word create in and used glossy accents on it. I had created that earlier and wasn't sure what project I was going to use it on, and it worked out perfect for this. So I'm just using some phone tape there and just raising up my pocket a little bit so I can put a couple little tags from the paper behind it. It's really simple, but I love the way it looks all, I don't know, I think it's vintage regal. I'm not sure, but I love it. I love it. I made my own embellishments by stiffening that lace, and it turned out really cool. So I'm just distressing the tags, and then I decided I like the vintage photo. It's nice, but I needed more of a pop on the edges. So after I did I like to double distress, so I like to use 2 different colors. So I used the vintage photo, and then I used the black soot around the edges. And I liked it so much on the tag, I decided to do it on the whole door hanger. And I'm sorry I keep going out of screen, guys. I think that the angle of my video kind of cuts off, because when I look at the video, I'm in screen when I do that. So I'll have to work on that and make it a little bit better in the future. And I'm picking up all those little pieces of the foam. If you distress and do the edges like that with foam, it leaves little pieces. So be careful that that doesn't get on the back of your project and ruin your project. So, and that's just paper left over from what I cut out for the door hanger. And then those are the little embellishment pieces that I stiffened and painted. And I just put those right on my tags. And then I decided to use those bigger pieces as a top portion. And I love how that worked out. I didn't like it on either end of the hole for where the doorknob goes. I like it like that. And they're nice and stiff, so it wound up looking really nice. So in there I'm just kind of messing with the layout a little bit, finding what I like. And I was roughing up those flowers, and a lot of the work that I did to those flowers, I'm sorry again guys, is off screen. But I did do an extra video here that I added, and you'll see that shortly, that shows you how I took those little flower buds, which I love them as flower buds, but I needed one that was just, I needed some that were just a little bit more full-bodied for the top portion of this. So I decided to combine them. And in one of them you can kind of see how I did it, but it's sped up really fast. So I've got another one that's slowed down, and I'll show you how I do it. So, but you can kind of see what I'm doing there. But again, since I was out of the screen for most part while I was altering the flowers and making them bigger, I recorded it again, and it's a little bit slower here. So it's really easy, guys. These flowers, they're so great because you got 2 for 1 basically, and you get a big bunch, and they're affordable. So you just take 2 flowers and you turn them into 1. So, and you just need your wire cutters, and you snip the wire off, and you take those leaves off. They're, they're well made, so it's, but they're flowers. You can take them apart easily if you know where to do it. So, and I'm just roughing that up because it's just held to get together with some glue, and it's got the nice gold paint on it. So I'm just kind of spreading that apart, and in the center of that flower is just the wire that has a knot in it that holds it on the wire for you. So I basically just kind of turn that flower inside out. And then I take one of the other, I find the tightest bud, because I like to have the bud in the middle. It just looks better. And then I just hot glue that in the middle and wrap it around, and voila. I have a bigger flower from those 2. And you can do it again if you'd like. You can do many layers of that. But I don't know, maybe 3 layers would be enough. I haven't tried it with 3 layers, but that's a more full-bodied flower with still the bud inside. So, and you can add more leaves if you'd like. I was just showing you that. So that's how you alter those to make them a little bit bigger. And here I am, I'm kind of showing you again how I did it, but for a lot of it I was out of screen. It's like, what is she doing to those flowers? All you can see is a little wire. So, and I kind of manhandle those flowers. I mean, they can take it and they don't fall apart. I mean, they stay together. And they're made out of that material that lets you just manipulate them into whatever you want them to do. So in here I am just gluing them down, finding my design and how I'm going to want it. And there it goes. I committed. It said just do it. And I really like those little extra leaves down below it. I thought that looked really cool and just kind of tied it all together from top to bottom. And I was trying some different flowers for my stash to find out which one looked better at the top. So then I just put some more gold rub and buff on there. On that flower. Again, it's just for my stash. I was thinking about putting one down there. I fuss with the design so much. I just need to commit. Just go for it. Just do it. Sorry guys, I probably could have cut some of this out, but I mean, just in case you are one of those people that fusses with things and moves around about 700 times, you're not alone. I think everybody does it. But we usually try and cut it out of videos. So when I put on those flowers, I distress them with the vintage photo. And then some more of the gold rub and buff on there. I should probably use gloves when I use that, but I don't. So, and those buds are just the single buds. I didn't double those up. And I thought that wound up looking nice. I almost put something in the middle of those flowers. Oh wait, I did. No, I did double them up. Yeah. I was going to put like a pearl in there. I was thought, that did not go. So I just made them a little bit bigger. I took the tightest bud I could find and spread it open and just hot glued it right inside of them. And they look really nice. I was excited figuring that out with those flowers. Because again, sometimes you want a bud, sometimes you want a fatter flower. So, sorry guys, I'm out of screen again. And then I'm just hitting it with my heat gun because I had some glue string hangers and I just found that they disappear. They just kind of melt into the project when you, as long as you get the big ones out, you know, just those tiny little spider ones, those glue strings. If you just hit it with your glue gun, they go away. Because I fight with them. Ugh, drives me nuts. And I should have used D6000 on that, but I just used hot glue just because it was easier and faster. And then I was fussing and I said, nope, Kelly, less is more. Just go with it. Sign it and call it done. And then I realized, I'm not done because I want movement on my project. So I just grabbed a little key from my stash of charms and a little section of chain. And I threw some distressed black paint on there. And then some gold rub and buff so it would match the project. And you guys that know me know how I love to have some sort of movement or some hint of movement somehow, some way on every project that I do. and this one didn't have it. So there it is, my little charm. And I think it finished it nicely. I think it was just what it needed without overdoing it and having too much. I don't like it overdone. So, and I think every element is highlighted nicely this way. So I just hot glue it right underneath that one little embellishment there, which is made from the lace. And there it is. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. And I will put that on my door. And there's some close-up pictures. Some are a little bright. I was playing with how I was going to do the lighting in it. So there are the stills of it. Hope you guys like it. Thank you so much for watching.